Straight ahead on 12 News, a Brooklyn Park Teen Center with global appeal. Why an international delegation stopped by for a visit. Plus, a medical mystery.
Your heart and your lungs can stop. I mean, there's really no warning.
A Brooklyn Park woman's medical battle that even doctors can't fully explain.
Starts right now.
We're very pleased today that we can officially break ground on this project. 100,000 cars per day on this particular stretch of road, and they are all hoping that this will provide some relief, and we know it will.
Plymouth City Council members and state lawmakers break ground on a 3-year construction project that will add a third lane to a heavily traveled stretch of Interstate 494. Hello, everyone. It's not often that people celebrate the thought of road construction.
But when a project takes more than a decade to come to fruition and overcomes multiple financial hurdles, there is reason to rejoice. Delane Cleveland is live along I-494 in Plymouth with more. Delane?
And Mike and Alex, people are going to have to get used to the sight of orange construction cones along 494 there, but for the thousands of people who have to travel that stretch of road every single day, it'll be a small price to pay for what the final product will look like. In the middle of the day, traffic on 494 in Plymouth moves along with relative ease. But ask people what this road is like during rush hour.
I avoid it during rush hour.
And it's an entirely different story.
It's very bad. It's slow. Stop and go.
This 6-mile stretch of 494 between Highway 55 and Fish Lake Road is the only section of the freeway without 3 lanes in each direction, and it results in rush hour gridlock.
I'm glad I don't have to do it every day.
Yet about 95,000 vehicles do use this road daily, which is why Plymouth officials said something had to change.
This project has always been something that we've been working on.
All that hard work paid off. Plymouth city leaders gathered Wednesday morning to mark the start of the 3-year construction project that will finally add the coveted third lane.
We're so delighted that this day has finally arrived. It's important not just to the residents of Plymouth, the businesses in Plymouth, but anybody that travels through this stretch of 494.
Earlier this year, city leaders thought this day would never arrive. Rather than building a third lane, MnDOT proposed a so-called dynamic shoulder lane, which would only open to traffic during peak congestion.
The dynamic shoulder was a little reluctantly accepted, knowing that we wanted to get the permanent third lane.
However, after more pressing from the city council, MnDOT officials found a way to build the permanent third lane.
The biggest thing that we've done is be able to find the money for this project, the extra $25 million that we needed. And that came from a series of efficiencies and projects that we have in other parts of the state.
By the fall of 2016, drivers will be able to reap the benefits.
It seems like a good idea to me. Something's got to be done for those poor people that have to do it every day.
Well, the prep work will begin this summer, but the majority of the work will start taking place next year. And in addition to the third lane, they're also going to improve some of the bridges around here and redo the pavement on 494. Reporting live in Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
All right, thanks much, Delane. Police say they are pursuing good leads following a shooting incident overnight in Brooklyn Center. Police found multiple shell casings in the Super America parking lot on 57th Avenue North. Brooklyn Center police tell 12 News that 2 people who knew each other fired shots at one another. No one was hurt during the early Wednesday morning incident. One person is currently in police custody. A shooting case last Thursday afternoon in Brooklyn Park is being investigated for possible gang ties. Someone who observed the crime scene sent us this photo of the police response. Brooklyn Park police say shots were fired from one vehicle toward another near Brooklyn Boulevard and 69th Avenue. It led to a short chase that ended near 76th and Noble. 4 suspects were arrested and a weapon was recovered. Charges are pending.
A for-profit college with campuses in Plymouth and in Brooklyn Center is being sued by the state attorney general for misleading students. Minnesota School of Business and its sister school, Globe University, is accused of consumer fraud. According to the suit filed by Attorney General Lori Swanson, criminal justice students were misled into believing the school's degree programs were certified by the state when in fact they were not. A statement from the school says those allegations could not be further from the truth. Well, Swanson accuses the school's admission staff of never taking no for an answer, even comparing their tactics to those seen in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. The suit is seeking civil penalties and restitution for students' losses. A Brooklyn Park woman has been fighting a series of medical conditions for 12 years.
Doctors have diagnosed her with several different ailments, but can't quite put their finger on the mystery illness. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us why she's not giving up the hope of finding what's causing her to be so sick.
I feel like I'm slowly going downhill.
Kim Hutchins says this is actually a good day for her. She's able to get things done on the computer.
Going in for tests again, too.
She says anytime she's out of the hospital is a plus in her book.
First time that we noticed something was 2002.
Since that time, Kim has been fighting a variety of illnesses, from a rare heart disease to a brain tumor to polycystic ovary syndrome.
When I went to eat, I couldn't pick the fork up to my mouth.
And that's just for starters. Kim was diagnosed with something much worse.
Seronegative myasthenia gravis.
The disease is similar to MS.
Your heart and your lungs can stop. I mean, there's really no warning.
In March, she spent a week in the hospital, and she wasn't sure she'd make it out.
It was very scary, very scary. This time it was different. It was the inability to move anything. My eyes, I couldn't open my eyelids. Any muscle that you can imagine was affected.
Doctors are also trying to diagnose a mystery illness that has left limited sight in her left eye.
It's come back a little bit, but it's going again. And one of the things with this disease is it makes your muscles not work.
Kim has to take more than 20 different medicines each day.
These are medicines that I take daily.
And medical bills are mounting.
We've collapsed. We've gone from a 2-income family to a 1. A lot of the things they won't cover, like the certain therapies they won't cover.
Even though things look bleak, Kim vows to keep living life to the fullest.
Just got to keep living. It's been 12 years. I can't fall down. I got 2 beautiful kids and a husband and friends and family who love me. I can't give up.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
There are several fundraisers for Kim Hutchins. On Friday, kids at a Brooklyn Park daycare are hosting a lemonade stand, and on Saturday, a fundraiser will be held at Pickle Park in Fridley. We will put all the information on our website.
The Zanewood Recreation Center in Brooklyn Park is seen as a model nationwide to help children escape trouble. Now it's getting global attention. Today, a delegation of international visitors toured Zanewood, coming from countries like Croatia, Turkey, and as far away as Cambodia. The visit was arranged through the U.S. State Department. The delegation's goal was to get ideas on how to end youth violence in their countries.
We're just really honored and, happy, always happy to share, the work that we're doing, and hopefully it can help other communities and countries too.
We are also trying to design or make a youth center where I can talk with the community and also maybe look for support from the government so that we can solve the youth conflict.
U.S. officials say Zanewood was chosen because it's a good example of a city, police, and government collaborating together to help at-risk youth. Still ahead, movies, books, and now clothes. 12 News Money Savers takes a look at monthly clothing subscription services.
And then a little bit later in sports, we'll meet a local official keeping busy with a growing sport. That's in our official business segments.
But first, clouds increase, leading to possible Thursday evening thunderstorms.
Consumer research is going where companies haven't gone before.
From food to fashion, the list of monthly subscription services continues to grow. And today in Money Savers, reporter Shannon Slatton explains how monthly clothing subscriptions work.
It's like Christmas. This dress was super cute and comfy.
Every month, Sarah Blessing gets a box of clothes in the mail from the company Stitch Fix.
It's $20 a month, a styling fee, and if you do purchase even one item, that $20 comes off the top of that item.
When Sarah gets her box, she has 3 days to pick out what she wants, pay for it, and send the rest back.
This one just happened to not fit, so I'm sending this back. And then you can give feedback on what you liked, what you didn't, why you liked it, why you didn't.
Sarah's monthly feedback also helps dictate dictate what's in her next box.
We inevitably get one thing in every box that we love that we never would have picked out for ourselves. It's super fun.
The personalized service is one of the reasons that clothing subscription companies like Stitch Fix are gaining in popularity.
It's a great service for women who don't have time to shop, don't enjoy shopping, or have a really difficult time fitting their bodies. And there are also services for men at this point, so it's not limited to just women.
Style and body image writer Sally McGraw says when you begin, expect to answer several questions about your style and shape.
Make sure that you either know how to measure yourself. It can be very specific in terms of where you're taking your waist measurement, where you're taking your bust measurement. If you don't know how, think about going to a tailor and having that done.
Then sign up for a service that reflects the price points and quality you want.
Trunk Club is the one that most guys are looking to at this point. It is definitely more on the high-end side. They're looking at more like the $100 to $300 price point and more along the designer lines.
If you pick the right service for you, you'll find something to keep in your closet.
And we're all super busy. Lots of people are moms. We still wanted to look cute and be stylish, but didn't have a lot of time to still spend all weekend shopping.
For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
It is worth noting that there are clothing subscription services for every size and shape. A popular one, Gwynnie B, caters to plus-size women. Coming up, one of the biggest garage sales you'll find in the Northwest Metro.
Plus, the American Legion baseball playoffs get underway. John Jacobson has highlights of Maple Grove when we come back.
What once was called the district tournament is now named the sub-state tourney in American Legion baseball. Either way, it is the lead up to the state tournament. First round play in the sub-state 11 tourney this morning as Maple Grove faced Mound at Osseo. Bottom of the first inning, Maple Grove's Corey Pallion grounds a single to left field. Matt Vogel comes in to score, and it's 2-0. They'd score 3 in the inning. Second inning, and Nate Erickson comes through with a 2-out single to right. Austin Bees scores, and it's a 4-0 game through 2. Maple Grove pitcher Mike Wallace was outstanding. He gets Wilson Prefer looking in the fourth. Wallace retires the first 12 batters he faces. More of the same in the fifth inning. A swinging strikeout here for Wallace. He allows just 1 run in 7 innings of work. Bottom of the fifth, Mason McMahon bounces one to second base. Mound can't get it out on the play. Pallion scores to make it 5-0. Later in the game, Bees singles to right center to bring Blake Whitecotton in with the 8th run. Maple Grove wins 9-2. They'll play Excelsior Friday morning. We'll have more from Sub-State Legion Ball Thursday starting at 4 on 12 News. The Minnesota Golf Association Men's Amateur Championship dates back to the early 1900s. The 111th tournament finished up today at Golden Valley Country Club. Troy Johnson of Rush Creek Golf Club came into the final round of the 54-hole tourney with a 2-stroke lead. He comes up just short on his eagle try on the 13th hole here. He would make birdie and finishes the tournament 3 under par, but was 1 over today. Eric Christofferson out of Baker National in Medina snakes in an eagle here on 13. And that temporarily ties him for the lead at -3. But Jesse Bull, playing on his home course at Golden Valley, makes a nice par save with this putt at 14. He goes on to finish 4 under for the tournament, shooting a 70 today and winning by 1 shot over Johnson and Christofferson. He is the 2014 MGA Amateur Champion. Well, sometimes we take for granted that there will be plenty of people around who know a lot about any given sport when officials are needed. On this week's installment of his official business series, Jake Wilcox profiles a guy who is in demand for his knowledge of a fast-growing sport.
This week on Official Business, we feature a sport that's really taken off in Minnesota in the last decade, and an official who's happy to be part of it.
Reset, you're close to a delay game, penalty there, 29.
Harold Buck of New Hope, a Pennsylvania native, grew up playing lacrosse and now wears the stripes to keep order on Minnesota fields.
In 1998, there was an article in the paper about this new sport of lacrosse. They said if you were interested, contact Mark Helenak. And I called him up and I said, hey, I played in Pennsylvania growing up. And he said, why don't you become an official? And I said, I'll give it a shot. And this is my 17th year now. Loose, hold, red ball.
Buck is both an official and a scheduler and trainer of officials. He gets enjoyment out of each.
I like both a lot. There is a lot of mentoring that goes on, so even though we do have classroom training and on-field training before people get on the field, we're all still learning. I always tell people that every game you should walk away with at least a couple things that you've learned, and that even goes for the guys like me that have been working for a long time. Coach 37's getting close to a slash and a hold.
Working a sport that's still relatively new in our state, Herald and many lacrosse officials are quick to explain their calls to help educate players.
Absolutely. Game management is a really important part of officiating, and if the players and coaches understand what you're calling and why, it makes it a lot easier on everyone. Easy, easy. We constantly have to adjust the way we're calling the game to the level of play, both in terms of different age groups and different skill levels.
Now, to current high school players, lacrosse may not seem that new anymore. Most of the parents haven't grown up with it, though, and the rules still draw some questions for Harold Buck and his cohorts.
There are some really interesting comments from the sidelines. I think my favorite is when the goalie makes a save and throws it the length of the field, and one of the parents yells, "That's icing!"
You've actually heard that?
More than once.
For Official Business, Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
Reset!
Buck says they are always looking for more officials and will train anyone, even if they don't have a background in lacrosse. Contact the Upper Midwest Lacrosse Association at umloa.org if you are interested. I think it would help, though, if you had a background, probably, if you're going to be an official.
No icing.
Yeah, no icing.
Yeah, know the rules.
Right.
Thanks, Jay. Or John, still ahead, a place where bargain hunters may strike gold.
But first, the hunt continues for Brooklyn Park's Golden Spud. Clue number 7 could lead to a $300 cash prize and pizza for a year. And finally, there's garage sales, and then there is the mega garage sale in Brooklyn Center.
And if you like antiques and collectibles, take note.
This is American Flyer train set. It's quite a few items to it.
Antique and collectible trains and a Singer sewing machine from 1892 are just a few of the thousands of items at this year's mega garage sale at Brooklyn United Methodist Church in Brooklyn Center. From furniture and housewares to clothes and toys, the 3-day annual event gets bigger each year, and proceeds benefit the church and also community outreach efforts.
We try to start with reasonable prices or low prices, and then by Saturday, we're going to try to put everything at half off and just get this stuff out the door.
And the sale runs until Saturday at noon. Have a great day.